Hi there, I want to make a video very quickly about our apple peeler core slicer. Love this thing. It makes prepping apples for your pies and apple crisps so quick and simple. It cores the apple, peels the apple, and slices it all in one quick motion. It has the option of not slicing. I really like keeping the peel on my apples, so this little piece here is the peeler. I'm going to put it into, I have swung it away from where the apple would be, but if I just loosen this core, the screw, and tighten it in this position, then it will peel. Okay, so it needs to be towards the bar if you want it in peel position. This fork right here holds the apple, and in a moment I'll show you how to position the apple on that. When you first get it, it will be like this with the prongs through the hole at the end. This is a lever. You're going to push this lever to pull this back. When you release the lever, you cannot push it back and forth. So it is only to help you position it. As I mentioned, these are the sharp forks that hold the apple in place. And when you prepare your apple, all you have to do is remove the stem. I tried leaving the stem on one time and it just got kind of caught in the cutting blade. So take that off, and when you are positioning the apple, use the stem side to put it onto the fork, okay? Not the other side. I find that it works better when I use this side of the apple. So really important. First I'm going to clamp this on, but those 3 forks that you saw would go around the core, okay? Not to the side. You want to center it as perfectly as possible like that. So next, I am just going to clamp this down. So I have it in peel position. I have it set the way I want. You're going to want to really make sure it's level on the surface that you're placing it on. This comes with a stand to attach it on, or without a stand. I don't have the stand, I just use it on my table. There's this part that needs to sit against the surface as well as this part, and this is a handle that helps you tighten it, make it loose or tighten. So I'm just going to do this. I want to make sure that it's all the way against the counter surface, okay? You don't want to leave some space because then you're not going to get it level. Then I'm going to tighten this nice and tight. So when it, yeah, a little bit tighter. Okay, now I'm going to, as I mentioned, position the apple from the stem side. And I'm going to make sure it's all the way back as far as it can go on that, okay? Then I just take this crank and start to turn. And it is that simple and easy. Really important, as you're turning, keep going. Don't go slowly. You want to do a fairly quick turn to keep that motion going, or it kind of stops up a little bit. If you are into peeling apples, I generally leave it with the peel on because there's so much nutrition packed in the peels. But I have seen kids go nuts. Kids who don't like apples love the spaghetti that's created by the peels. As you can see, it's one long continuous strand of apple peel that has just come off your apple. Then I'm just going to pull this forward, and I push this lever again, and I can pull that back, and that helps me pull the apple off. And then here is the core. All the seeds are inside. None of that core stuff is stuck in my apple. I have a perfectly accordion apple. And then if I want it for my pies, I just cut this in half and then it all becomes separated. So let me just show you that. So now cutting that in half, I have perfectly sliced apples for a crisp or a pie. And that's as simple as it is. Now, let me just show you what it's like if I swing that peeler away. So I'm just going to loosen that screw, move this to the side. Remember, I'm using the stem end onto the prongs. Centering it perfectly, making sure it's all the way back on, holding tight. Oh, I think I have this not swung over far enough. Yeah, you want it perfectly in the other direction. I've made sure that this is level on the table, not angled. Keep a steady turning motion. Don't stop until you hear the click. It's done. Push this lever in, pull that out, and there you go. The core removes, and you've got a perfectly sliced apple, cored apple, but this time the peel is on. And that's how quick and simple it is to use our apple peeler core slicer thingamajig. I want to show you one other thing real quick. Sometimes you're just wanting an apple cored and wedged. We also have an apple wedger. I really love this. I'm eating a lot more apples just by having that. I'm going to put my apple in place. You can use this little knife protector here. This is sharp, it's cutting. So you want to watch your fingers. Again, it's going to take the core out. So I am going to again put that over the stem end. I'm going to just center that circle over the stem section and just push down, and then I am going to push down this way to get it back out. The core is off and I have a perfectly wedged apple. And if I want to keep this fresh, like let's say I want to take an apple to work and I like having the core removed, but I don't like the apple browning. If you then wrap it tightly like this, so there's very minimal oxygen exposure to the apple, to the fruit, you can hold that tight, wrap it up, and then when you're ready to eat, it's set to go. But it's super quick then just to take a wedge off, and you're ready with wedged apples without having to worry about what to do with that core. One other tool we have, let's see if I have it handy easily. We also have just a plain apple corer, and this works really well. Let's say you're wanting to make baked apples, you just need the core removed. So this is serrated. Again, I would go over the stem side, and I would just get it started, and then I'm just turning. Okay, so then you pull it back out, you open it up, there's the core removed, simple as that. You've got a really nice cored apple, but everything else is in place. You can fill this with some nice brown sugar, raisins, whatever you want, some butter, bake it in the oven. You've got baked apples, and you didn't have to like work your paring knife to try to get that perfectly cored apple. So there are 3 different ways to prepare apples. Love all 3 for different reasons, and I hope that video was helpful. Thanks so much.